Where was I? Sorry, this is all a bit complicated. It may seem complicated, but hopefully it's not too complicated, or I'm still communicating effectively here. Okay, so the foreign key that relates opinions back to its parent situation is not group ID, but is RD situation, this one. Cool. And then opinions doesn't have any child tables. It does have another parent table though, which is users. Each opinion has a corresponding user who holds the opinion. So I'm gonna create another foreign key here called user ID, the file name, and then I'm going to go to the user table, go to its items property, duplicate the existing relationship, and then add the name RD opinions key, and user ID is correct there. So this should be good. I'm refreshing. We can only see RD relationship diary. The example isn't there because I just need to make sure that's uploaded, which it will be now. Okay, cool. So RD relationship diary, I'm going to open that. There you go. So now we can see the tables. But if we open the table, it's not going to work. It's going to have error because these tables don't exist. So first, go to the URL, replace the word here database with ERD, and let's see what happens. Okay, we got an error. That's because the Crud cache directory doesn't exist. So go to create that. Go to relationship diary, new folder, and then just make sure that's uploaded. And now let's see if we have errors. No, we don't. ERD to DB. Okay, so we copy this, open that. We don't need the groups user and user groups SQL code. We need the stuff underneath that starting with RD, these three. Now we're going to run that SQL. It's going to create the relevant tables. Now, so this also, so when we ran this, it created this, it created this SQL for us, but it also created cache, ERD cache, which is important. Now, this cache, when I ran it, it checked if those tables existed, and they didn't. So it's made a note that they don't exist, but now they do exist. So let's just run it again, so it can double check and now saw in the cache that they do exist. Okay, so it should be fine now. Otherwise, it'll give a weird error. So now, just click back here. Now, if I click situation categories, it should look good. Okay, so here we go. So now we are, okay, so this is the, so initially we saw the databases view. Now, then we saw the database view and the tables in the database. Now we're going to look at the table view. So if I click on situation categories, this is the table view. As you can see in the URL, it says table here. So this is what a table looks like. You can add records. Unlike the situation here in the database view and the databases view, we can add records. So I can, for instance, create a category called sleep. Before I do that, as you see here, we can set permissions. So permissions is important. So let's get that set up and out the way. So before I create any records, I want to make sure when I save those records that the relevant permissions is going to be applied to it. So if I create a record, I want to make sure that only users of this belong to a specific group can view that and access it. So I'm going to do some stuff in that regard. I'm also going to show you creating a new user. But in the process of creating a new user, the people who register accounts need to